We're recording.
Okay.
Sports Jargon Podcast. Slightly altered frame, fireplace. The beautiful
Oh,
fireplace.
of course. Like, yeah, I did dinner, right?
And I'm stoned.
Josh Burnett. I kind of like these little tables. Oh.
Right? I kind of like that. Look, I got the click that time. Oh, yeah. We like that.
Alright.
Alright, we got some news this week.
We do.
Let's start with women's college basketball. We touched on it last week. Let's touch on it this week.
Okay.
So, last week we were discussing how good for the game it is about the Cavinder twins. They made their announcement today they're not coming back for their super COVID season. Sad.
T's and P's. R.I.P.
Wish them the best of luck in all their future endeavors. Probably as gazillionaires on social media. Good for them. However, I did want to throw out, how good is this for college basketball?
Oh, it's incredible. Honestly, I don't know. Like, between. Alright, I'll try again. Everything that's going on in college basketball right now, phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Men's maybe taking a
And
dip,
I just,
but women's are thriving.
and I believe, now I have to look into this because the Cavinder twins are signed to the WWE.
Oh, okay.
They are signed, I think they're part of that NAL program for WWE, whatever. So I think they're moving on, probably assume to train through that. They are near the top of the richest players of all time, which is wild. So their estimated net worth is $5 million.
Stop. No, that's not real.
According to Sportskeeda, if we believe that.
Oh, with wheels?
Wheels. Don't get me started on wheels. But, regardless, I think this is phenomenal.
Oh.
We're unofficially sponsored by Fresca today, by the way.
Yeah, Francesca or something.
Oh wait, we're not supposed to drink alcohol on Twitch? That's fine.
I've been doing it every single podcast.
That's fine. That's fine then. But yeah.
If we get big enough where that's an issue, then great.
Right. If you don't know who Haley and Hannah Cavinder are, look them up. Twins, basketball players, social media stars.
Never had these. These are pretty good.
These are really good.
Yeah.
Miami Hurricanes made it to the Elite Eight last year. Good for them.
The Kane gang.
Good for them. All the hot dog.
Oh boy.
Always
gonna be mad.
That's all right. I just had it with it. So moving on to other parts of college basketball.
Oh, it's a vending machine.
Vending machine.
I thought the building was coming down.
Right. We talked about Caitlin Clark,
Mm-hmm.
Angel Reese, the stars of the tournament this past season. We talked about. We had some people like, oh, whatever. They're trash talking. We don't want that in the game. For those keeping track at home, Iowa. Caitlin Clark's returning to Iowa for her senior season. Run it back. They are pausing ticket sales because they have the overwhelming response.
Yeah, that's a lot for me.
Can you turn that up, or what are we doing here?
I'm not sure. Which way am I going here? I think we're going that way.
Just so people are aware.
If you can believe it, I think Randy fucked with our mic too.
What a surprise! Not shout out to our
old chat.
Not shout out to our old chat, but
let's try that. Is that no? That's quieter. Is it?
Gooch.
Oh my wait.
Hello.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to see how it sounds.
Yeah, we'll see how it sounds on the playback. But Cavinder, Randy, you son of a bitch. But either way, Caitlin Clark, so popular now. They are pausing women's college basketball tickets because they're selling too many.
They're season tickets. That's fucking insane.
They're selling too many tickets. One, that's a problem everybody wishes they had. Like, I wish I had that problem of selling anything.
Too much Adam Stone merch.
That would be fantastic. That would be absolutely fantastic. But for those of not paying attention, it's time to pay attention, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know what else to add. They're the stars of the tournament. She kept doing the John Cena, you can't see me to people. Angel Reese, who was, I don't know, averaged something absurd, 24 points, 15 rebounds. I know we looked at it last week, but I don't remember what it is anymore. But
your boy Hater got the save. He gave up a RBI to Tommy Pham, and
you hate that.
But then got the save.
I like that for my fantasy team, Hater, picking up the save. But yeah, shout out women's college basketball,
Mm-hmm.
right? We'll shout that out all day. Let's move on. We gave that some quick time. We'll talk football because there's only one really. Well, I shouldn't say that, but
One thing
besides like mock drafts and stuff like that, there's some news. Odell Beckham Jr. to the Ravens.
Mm-hmm. That's I don't know if that's enough to keep big trust, but make him happy.
You
for
know,
sure.
I think the interesting part about this is I don't know what when I initially saw it, I'm like, oh, this is to keep Lamar Jackson happy, right? Like that's the original
one would
thing.
think.
But Lamar Jackson, that's still an ongoing issue.
Yeah.
But what is I try to think of it for OBJ's side. Besides making $15 million, because
Guaranteed. Up to 18.
Up to 18.
That's a lot.
What if Lamar Jackson doesn't play and he sits out, gets traded, whatever? What value is he going to have after the year? Because
Lamar or Odell?
Odell, because presumably if Lamar Jackson's not there, he's not going to put up the stats that he wants to put up.
Yep. One would think.
Granted, if other teams are offering him 10 and he's signed for 15.
Oh, is that the Heat?
Yeah.
That's not turned on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, perfect. So I don't know what the incentive is for OBJ besides money, and I am going to assume that if
they might be the ice machine actually.
Could be the ice machine.
We'll say it's the Heat.
We'll say it's the Heat. Yeah. So unless teams were offering him like $8-9 million, which they could have been.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know why he goes to the Ravens. I don't understand
it doesn't.
The Bills were out there that wanted him.
Yeah.
The Cowboys presumably were out once they signed Brandon Cooks or traded for Brandon Cooks.
Jets were looking.
Green Bay were sniffing around a little bit before they announced they were doing the trade.
Stop.
But
they weren't.
They weren't. Whatever. Call it what you want to call it. But like, there was teams that were out there that were looking around.
Who have better quarterback or potentially better quarterback situations?
And the Ravens, man, I don't know. Like, I don't understand what their plan is.
Yeah, no, no. You kind of beat me.
And especially too, like the deal, and I don't understand it. So the deal, and I don't know what's going on in this. I want to talk about this too because Carolina did to me earlier, and I didn't look through the contracts. Carolina sends DJ Chark to a 1-year contract, and the same thing happened to Odell Beckham. They're paying Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham is going to be on the cap hit for the Baltimore Ravens until 2027. 5 seasons. DJ Chark, Carolina, on there for 5 seasons. I haven't looked through all of them, but I don't know why teams are doing this.
1-year deal?
So it's a 1-year deal. What they basically OBJ basically only counts for 3.9 or 3.93 whatever it is million this year, and they spread the cap hit out.
I could understand that for a long-term deal,
like
for a 1-year deal.
He already counts for $11 million next year for the Ravens. So 2024, there's already a dead cap hit for the Ravens of $11 million.
So what in 25, 26, 27? What the hell is he counting for?
25 is $8 million. 26 is $5.3 million, and 27 is $2.7 million.
So instead of just paying him $15 million right now, you're going to pay him roughly, or you're going to pay for roughly.
They didn't have the cap hit. They didn't have the cap space for him.
Yeah, but you're going to pay for roughly $30 million of a player that you're spending half that money on.
Yep. But this is what the league has turned into because, and I'm not saying I agree with it, and I'm not saying it's a good idea, but Tampa Bay went all in and they started spreading out their cap hits.
Yeah, but
they're paying Tom Brady forever. Like Tom Brady, I think counts for this year and next year.
Yeah, but they got him for more than 1 year, so I guess that's more justified. You're literally.
No, I agree. I'm totally on board
baffled
with you because when Carolina, I'm a Carolina fan. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Carolina fan, and I looked through and they signed Andy Dalton to a 2-year contract. They're paying Andy Dalton till 2027. Like Carolina already has something like $6 million dead cap space in 2027. They have like $15 million dead cap space in 2026 already. But it's kind of like a league-wide thing, I think.
Oh,
There's some teams that are not doing that, which are probably the smart teams.
that's a lot for me. I don't know if I was ready for that.
Right. So I don't know. Like I don't know why teams are doing this. Like I don't understand.
Hmm.
Like I don't understand. Like so, for instance, I'll give you the Kansas City Chiefs last year's Super Bowl winner. They have one player under contract for 2027, one cap hit. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
2026, they have two players under. That's their new left tackle they just signed, and Patrick Mahomes. They're not taking on 15, 20 million dead cap space 4 years down the road. What are these teams doing?
So
I don't understand.
What is Chark's cap hit for?
So DJ Chark, I'll have to look it up because it upset me, and I'm sad about it. So DJ Chark signed a 1 year deal. Now, and this is the only thing while this loads, I don't understand. These guys are, they're like, this is the money we want, right? And they're not getting it. They're like, no, that's not what it is. So DJ Chark, let's see, for this year, he is a $1.8 million cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
2024, he is a $3.13 million cap hit.
Okay.
2025, he is a $2.3 million cap hit.
What kind of deal did they sign him for?
To 1.56 million, because he gets a bonus of 7.8. Dude, I don't know.
So they signed him for a
1 year deal.
Yeah, but what did the contract say? 1 year.
Let me tell you 1 second.
Yeah, I need this right now. This is a lot for me.
1 year contract, $5 million guaranteed. To Carolina.
You can't just take a $5 million cap hit for the year and call it a day.
And Carolina currently has the second most cap space.
Right?
At 28 million.
That's what I'm getting at. What are you doing?
I don't know. I know you can have some of it roll over. I'm not a cap expert. I only read what's in front of me because it's a lot easier. But Carolina, and then you also have to consider, so Carolina's at $26 million in cap space right now.
Okay.
Around 8-9 million of it is going to go to their draft picks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they really only have about
20 million.
18 million, roughly, somewhere
Yeah.
there. Carolina also has $51 million in dead cap space just because DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, Pat Elflein, who they cut, Matt Ioannidis, who signed a 1 year deal. Last year, $3.8 million dead space. This year, because it rolled over.
Unless you're paying somebody absurd amount of money, I'm not understanding what the.
I don't know, and so like that's basically my point. Is I don't know what incentive does the Ravens have for this deal. What incentive does Odell Beckham Jr. have to sign this deal?
So you're telling me the Ravens don't have the cap space for Odell Beckham deal?
So
Lamar Jackson's not in the books.
So the Baltimore Ravens.
So where are you coming up with any sort of money to pay Lamar Jackson?
Technically, because they put him on a transition tag, they cannot use $32 million this year.
Okay.
So even if he doesn't sign it, they still have to have that option open because they can either rescind the offer or they leave it on there and it sits until he agrees to it.
Okay.
And if he doesn't agree to it, it rolls over to next year. So they basically have $32 million in dead cap space regardless. So if they sign Lamar Jackson, what they're going to do is they're going to backload it because you have to backload it, especially nowadays because they don't have the cap space. So technically they have $3 million in cap space right now. So they're going to have to make moves to get under, but I mean, it's in the NFL right now. They currently have 60 players signed, so 9 of them won't count. So you're going to cut 9, so you're probably going to cut roughly $9 million out of there, which is going to be your draft picks. So I don't know. I don't know to answer your question what they're going to do. Yeah, no, because I've been on.
I guess I didn't really study cap stuff enough to know that this was already happening. Like I understood with some of these players it was happening,
right?
But like I figured it was just superstar level players and not these guys who are role player. I mean, whatever you want to call them type of players.
Because Aaron Rodgers is going to count towards Green Bay's cap, regardless
Yeah,
of
till
the date.
what, 2025?
Till 2026.
2026, okay.
They trade him, whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
He's still
no,
going to have that.
And I understood all that.
Aaron Rodgers is a lot different than DJ Chark.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm getting at.
No offense to DJ Chark, because I think he actually is a pretty good football player.
Mm-hmm.
But there's things that are going on. This is why, like, the Saints were $60 million over the cap.
Yeah,
But they start moving money around. But that's the problem is, like, Tampa Bay right now, like.
Oh yeah, they look like they're fucked.
Tampa Bay is fucked. Like,
Devin White wants out, actually.
they have
I don't know if you saw that.
I did. They have $75 million in dead cap space this year. And I mean, you go all in, you know.
They got a Super Bowl though.
They got a Super Bowl. It worked. A lot of that goes away next year. Like, they don't pay Tom Brady next year, which is because Tom Brady is a G and he always helps his teams out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're going to suffer for 1 year, but they're probably going to suffer for 1 year anyway.
Yeah.
And then 2024, they're back up. I mean, they're going to be roughly like $40 million in cap space the following year. So if they can get a decent, if they try, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to use them as an example because they went all in.
Yep.
And I think the Rams as well.
Which
Rams kind of went a different route because they just kept trading their first round draft picks like it was candy, and it worked out. But yeah, I mean, they don't really have Aaron Donald. Like, he'll be a thorn in the side for the next few years after his 2-year extension. But besides that,
you know, I think I'll take that thorn in the side when it's Aaron Donald.
Right. I mean, it's not like he's a bad player. And, I mean, if he plays 2 more years, he plays 23, 24, maybe 25. Like, he's still going to count 20. I think he's 26. Yeah, so you're only at 1 or 2 dead years of him if he retires. I mean, I assume he'll be retired by then just because he seems to be wishy-washy the last couple seasons.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like, teams like that makes perfect sense. But the Saints were screwed because they went all in with Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And this is what they had to show for it. It didn't work, but they went for it. I don't blame them for going for it.
Absolutely not.
They were like, Drew Brees has a couple of years left. They kind of blew a lot of their assets.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of had a team ready to compete. They went all in with Jameis Winston. Obviously, it didn't work.
Yep.
So they've restarted the rebuild.
That's okay. I know. I can understand. Like, I don't know. Again, I guess my point is I'm just not understanding why you're doing this for not superstar talent players.
Right.
So
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, and I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but I guess you kind of have to go.
I mean,
you kind of have to go on because there's a lot that is relevant information about this because this is what happens when teams. A lot of people don't realize, and fans don't realize it, and whether they care or not care, but a lot of teams are borrowing from the future now to win now with rosters that aren't ready to win now. But I hope, I don't want to say I hope, but the NFL probably should start looking into this and looking to see, hey, there could be an issue here because now, I mean, let's just say the Saints are bad this year, right? Maybe they could be good, they could be bad. I don't know. A lot depends on Derek Carr.
Yeah.
But they already got like 15 to 16 dead million next year already. Yeah. Like if he's not the answer, you've set your team back.
Yeah, now you're looking like you're in real trouble.
Well, I mean, let's see. So you had 2 years ago, last year, this year. If Derek Carr doesn't work out, that was 4, 5, 6 years you got set back because of the Drew Brees deal. Mm-hmm. And again, they went for the Super Bowl. They were NFC Championship games. I get it. But yeah, but if you're the general, this is something where I struggle with this as a fan because I watched Carolina Panthers spend a lot of money. They signed Miles Sanders. They signed Hayden Hurst. They signed DJ Chark. They started signing these guys, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm clicking through, and I'm like, why is John Hecker their punter? Why is Andy Dalton? Why is DJ Chark? Why are these guys still on the cap hit until 2026?
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna be on the team.
No.
They're not even like Adam Thielen's till 2027. He signed a 3-year deal. His contract's done 2025. Yeah. They're paying him for another 2 more years. Dante Jackson, another 2 years. Shaq Thompson, another 3 years. So part of me is like, why are they doing this? Like you're throwing away valuable cap space. I mean, they're throwing away $6 million. You can get a lot of decent players for $6 million this year. Mm-hmm. If Scott Fitterer doesn't win this year, he's the Carolina's general manager. all of a sudden, that's 3 years he's bad.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot to
He is. What does he care if their team's bad next year? He's getting fired. What does he care if there's dead cap space in 2027?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe in a future job, if he's looking elsewhere and says, "Hey man, my hands were tied, Matt Rule," you throw your blame around. But a lot of these guys, they get a shot.
Yeah, it's a lot
So
for me.
so for me as a fan, it's super frustrating because I'm like, why are we paying these guys when no?
Pretty sure it's Tiffany driving by right now.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Okay, let's see if she pops in.
Well, whatever. But it's just what you're mortgaging so much.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And I just like,
Yeah, especially like
because it's
like,
like, oh cool, we got
so-
Adam Thielen. We got a 33-year-old Adam Thielen signed to a 3-year deal. He's making $11 million, of which is a lot of guys entering their prime aren't making that much money. And now you're giving this to a 33-year-old guy and you're paying him for 5 years
To
and
try
he's
to
got 3.
win.
And
to try to win with Andy Dalton.
and I'm like, and this is,
I don't know.
I am a firm believer on statistics don't lie. They don't care about your feelings, et cetera, et cetera. No rookie quarterback has ever won the Super Bowl, right? That has never happened.
Yeah.
That has never happened. Carolina's not winning next year. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richard, whoever, they're not winning next year.
Yep.
So you already threw away DJ Chark for 5 years. You threw all these cap hits away. You know you're not going to win next year. So what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
They signed Miles Sanders $6 million contract per season, roughly. No running back has ever made that much money and been on a Super Bowl winning team. So all of a sudden you start adding these things, and Carolina's not the only team. I just bash them because I'm super familiar with them because I follow them. But it's like you start looking at winning success in the league. The Kansas City Chiefs, we invest in the offensive line. We invest in Travis Kelce, fast guys, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Everything else we could give two shits about. Chris Jones, obviously that was a big pickup for them, drafted him. But like, if you look at the defensive side of the ball, they're just picking super athletes, and they're hoping that worst case scenario.
Who was that linebacker that they just drafted this year?
Nick Bolton. Isn't that you love him?
I love Nick Bolton, but I was talking about outside linebacker, or maybe he's D end. Karlaftis.
Oh, George Karlaftis or whatever it is. Yeah.
Like just super. Like that's what I thought when you said super freak athletic.
Right.
Just
And it's he did his job, and
Yeah.
you just kind of throw fresh
Nick Bolton's
guys.
such a fucking dog, though.
Well,
I love
but
that
it's
guy.
like the teams that was having success. New England for all those years they invested in their offensive line, Tom Brady, and defensive line. Everything else piecemealed, vet minimums, loaded up on draft picks, loaded up on lottery picks.
Yeah.
And teams aren't. It's like all
And
I can
then
think of is
they
having.
pull these 4th round guys out that nobody would heard of,
Right.
and they'd be
But I mean,
superstars.
like all I can think of is these guys they have the answers to the test, and they're putting it out for the world to see on national television, and then you have these teams that are like, okay, yeah, but I could sign DJ Chark to a 1-year deal and pay him for 5, and what do you?
Okay,
what are you doing?
but I have Jordan Love sitting on the bench.
Right, like that's what Super Bowl winning team has ever had that? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand. It's like teams are constantly trying to rewrite, and it's very frustrating to me because it's like teams are trying to rewrite the history books when, look at
They
the
want to be
teams.
the next guy. They want to be the next
Right,
reason
and
that.
then even like when Tampa Bay won, that you had Tom Brady. Obviously, you need your quarterback. That's a big help having the go. But then it's like, you know what? Elite tight ends get you pretty far. They get Gronk out of retirement. Look what George Kittle's done for the 49ers. Look what Travis Kelce's done. I mean, even Mark Andrews, like a lot, that makes you so much more dynamic on offense. And then you have these teams that are like, yeah, but I'm going to pay my 3rd string running back $8 million because he's going to be my 3rd down running back. It's like, okay, that doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
That has never worked. You are trying to reinvent the wheel, and where teams are constantly showing like, hey, this is how you win. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Like Kansas City, the only dead cap space they have this year is Frank Clark.
Yep.
$7 million. They are using all of their cap space. Carolina has $53 million in dead cap space. They could have literally $70 million in cap space right now if they didn't just throw everything away. I mean, you signed DJ Moore this past offseason, plays a season, you trade him. You take that cap hit. Like,
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson, you signed him to the 2 years.
Can you imagine signing Robbie Anderson to anything?
Jen, I didn't mean to go out on a big tangent like this, but it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
like the Lions I think they just swindled the Falcons.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they just said, hey, you guys need a corner, cool. They just signed Cam Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley. They just signed corners. Like they had to trade him.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to trade him, and you can't cut him because he counts as your cap. So Atlanta comes flying in like, oh, we'll give you money for him. It's like, okay, well, he was horrible. They're giving up on him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's fair to give up on him yet because didn't he not have a good year or two in the middle there?
So Okuda struggled. He was really bad his first 2 years. I don't think he actually he played a lot in his rookie season and he was bad. If I remember correctly, I'm gonna.
I thought he had at least had 1 or 2 good years.
Let's see. Was he 2019? No, he was 2020.
Yeah. That's my water.
It's your water. So Pro Football Focus had him the worst starting corner in the league.
Okay.
He gave up 38 catches on 50 targets with 1 pass breakup. So that means the other ones were
missed balls.
Yeah, and 1 interception that apparently the way that it shows it was that it was either an overthrow, whatever, didn't have it. So then 2021, he didn't play. Did not play.
Oh, COVID year.
He had 3 tackles, whatever.
Okay.
Then he played last year. Gave up 40 catches on 65 targets.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
So I mean, he's now in year 4, and you have to pick up his 5th-year option.
Yeah.
But all that money is guaranteed. Like you have to pay that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I
must be thinking of a different.
No, that's okay. But Atlanta has money to burn. It makes sense for them. But offer him a 7th-round pick.
Yeah.
Be like, if you want to keep your dead cap space, go for it. Go for it. You spent all that money on your corners. You're not going to play him. Like clearly, he's not going to play for Detroit this year. Like there was no shot that he was going to play for them this year. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I don't like I said. I don't care. But that was a brilliant move. Like, hey, we got rid of him. I mean, I don't know.
That's understandable.
I'm just at the point now where teams are trying to reinvent the wheel. Teams are drafting we've learned that when you don't take running backs in the first round. It doesn't make sense. I guarantee you someone's taking Bijan Robinson.
Oh, absolutely.
I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
And they're gonna say, yeah, but it's Saquon Barkley went number 2 overall and it made no difference. Christian McCaffrey had 1,000 yards reception, 1,000 rushing yards. They were 5 and 12. 5 and 11, whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my rant.
No, that's fine. Hey,
Sorry if I'm done ranting. I'm done ranting right now.
Okay. Let's see here. Did you want to talk about our buddy there? We'll stick to the NFL. We'll stick talk to our buddy in Arizona Cardinals.
And I think too part of the thing with that is DeAndre Hopkins. I think now is staying with the Cardinals. I don't know. They offered him the ability to make a trade.
I thought they were going to cut him.
Then they were going to cut him. Then they were going to trade him. But they have to wait until after June 1st.
Okay.
Because it saves them $20 million in cap space. But what do you get out of that? You know, your cap space afterwards. Who are you going to sign at that point? Who's left? You know, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But this comes after the Cardinals executive, Terry McDonough, accused owner of a lot of things.
Yeah. The headline I saw was, "Is he worse than Dan Snyder?"
So
and from being somebody that you don't hear anything about.
So his owner's the owner's name's Michael Bidwill, right? That's
yes.
So he's getting accused of, per ESPN article, of course, gross misconduct, cheating, discrimination, harassment.
It was just a lot for me to see it because it came up as one of my Yahoo ads that they just send me every now and then. And to be somebody that we haven't heard a single thing about, and then automatically this comes out and it's like, oh, he's worse than Dan Snyder.
That's a lot.
I was not ready for any of that.
That's a big accusation to throw out there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna click on the Yahoo Sports article because I assume that's the one you saw where it's
yes.
ugly accusations.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't. So the Cardinals have responded.
Okay.
And I don't think the owner responded, but the team respond to the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Wildly false, reckless opportunity to deploy for financial gain. Then said there's difficulties in his personal life, which is often volatile demeanor toward colleagues. They were saying that about Terry McDonough. Was the Cardinals' reaction. Man, we gotta. What happened?
We got mistreating black employees. We got mistreating pregnant women.
Yes.
This is a lot.
Because I think, but now, again, this is also to about a week and a half over the Arizona Cardinals getting a lot of F's on their report card for players.
Yes.
Because that, for anybody that doesn't know, the over the offseason, the NFL players ranked basically the team.
Weren't they 32?
They were pretty much, so they got F for treatment of families, they got F for food service and nutrition, they got F minus for weight room, worst weight room. Wow. Apparently they love the strength coach, gave the guy an A, love to see that. Yeah. Training room F minus, training staff B plus, locker room F, team travel B plus. That's a lot of Fs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would do it. Also, how do they say this is a 5-minute article to read? I'm a very slow reader. This is not a 5-minute article for me. I'm sorry.
No, for the allegation, that's a lot.
For the Yahoo thing, it said 5-minute read. Yeah,
it's not.
Good luck.
I
wouldn't understand a single thing I read in this thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot, because there was another guy, Mike Minigar, whatever you want to call it. I might be pronouncing it wrong, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Basically said, you're not the guy I met in 2000, used to be fun, now you got issues. Coming to work angry every day, you talk down to everybody, you're arrogant, condescending, demand credit. Also said that he killed the employee engagement survey, saying that the players hated the owner.
Not something you want to have as a NFL organization.
No.
Or the NFL for, hold on, I meant a team or an NFL organization.
Yeah, and that was a leaked statement that he wrote in a personal note to Bidwill. Then it gets leaked.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because I don't like anything leaked anymore, because anything leaked is because it's for somebody's gain or
something happens where it gets leaked for a reason.
Yes.
I don't know what that reason is. A lot of times we'll never know. Like, the media will report it. Maybe you'll get it accurate. Maybe you won't. I mean, like, look, I'm reading on Yahoo Sports, who wrote this article, Shaliz Amanza Young. Maybe she knows. I don't know. Like, she linked articles, but it's, I don't know. Like,
the reporting world is just a wild place to be, honestly.
I mean, like, they talked about how, like, she links an article from Arizona Central, like, the Cardinals GM Steve Keim pleads guilty to extreme DUI, suspended by the team 5 weeks. Like, you link stuff like that. Do you get all the details? No, I don't know. Like, it's just, there's a lot that goes into it. The Cardinals and Bidwill both have said, hey, this is all fake news. This is all not real. These are basically angry employees, ex-employees. I mean, man.
But I'm going to go with your famous saying here, where there's smoke,
there's
probably fire.
I feel like when you've got enough people that are coming out of it, and there's just so, like, if you survey 10 people and 9 out of 10 tell you the same story, and the 10 guys are slightly different from the other 9, the story's probably somewhere in between. So the fact that people are coming out and all the players basically said they hate playing there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of smoke, right? They're sending the smoke signals up, and the owner's got the towel out and he's waving it, and he's like, no, this ain't real.
Yeah, if you've got all these players, the players' report card should say all you need to hear about it, because.
And I forgot.
Like JJ Watt. JJ fucking Watt.
And it's also.
Do you think people like that are lying on these surveys?
Right, and there's a lot more that, because I forgot. You talked about Steve Wilkes earlier, and I'll bring it up now. McDonough accused Bidwill basically of hiring Steve Wilkes to get around the Rooney Rule. sabotage him for a season because he knew he wanted to go to Kingsbury. He had to wait a year for him.
Yep.
So basically, he's saying, yeah, I didn't want a black head coach. I wanted to make sure he didn't do well to secure a bad. Is that true? I don't know. That's a lot of.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of. To say you hired somebody just to sabotage him to bring in Kingsbury is weird.
Yeah.
Especially because Steve Wilkes is very well liked.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw what he did with Carolina this year.
Yeah.
Even though that he moved on now to the 49ers, like the 49ers are real excited to have him. Like
Yeah,
I know I'm sure they're sad about D'Amico Ryans, but and all the Carolina players were basically like, hey, keep Steve Wilkes, he's our guy, we love this guy, we played real hard for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So for that, we don't know. We'll never know.
No.
Unless something comes out, we won't know. But also too, McDonough also said that he was reprimanded, written up for insubordination, whatever that is.
Yeah.
That could be
That
literally
could be a
that could be a
lot
lot
of
of
things.
things.
Yeah.
And he was written up because he did not want to use burner phones. He allegedly is claiming that the Arizona Cardinals wanted everyone to use burner phones.
Hey, maybe don't do that.
There's a lot that goes into that, right? Because it's like, why are you using burner phones?
I don't like that.
This kind of looks like,
I don't like that.
because this is where, and this is like, Brian Flores did the class action suit. Steve Wilkes joined that lawsuit,
Mm-hmm.
claiming that Arizona hired him basically to lose on purpose.
Yep.
And now you're starting a little more smoke, right? You're getting a little bit more smoke.
Oh, I think Brian Flores had every right to do everything.
Because the NFL ruled that there's no intentional tanking.
Yep.
But there was an investigation, and there was a lot of, why did Brian Flores get fired?
Yeah, they almost made the playoffs.
You basically had your star quarterback, who was your second year prized possession, get hurt. Couldn't play the majority of the season. They had Jacoby Brissett, I think it was he their guy? Who's, I don't know. I could look it up. It doesn't matter. But then Flores wins 8 out of 9 games to finish the season,
Mm-hmm.
and then you fire him.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah. No.
And again, that's just whatever. Or I'm sorry, that was before Tua, because their big thing was tank for Tua. That was their whatever, and they ended up with Tua.
I don't remember who the quarterback was at this point.
I can't remember what it was, but regardless, they went on a tear. Same thing, they drafted Tua. Tua missed the time, goes on another tear, wins a bunch of games, gets fired.
Yep. When you got money, you can kind of do whatever the hell you want.
If you're not watching the stream and maybe you're listening to it, I'm throwing the shrugs hand up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just think that there's
corruption. I can't stand any of that stuff.
Your brother would say if there's no evidence, it's not true, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. The players don't like playing there. Steve Wilkes said he was sabotaged. We have more people coming out. We have guys writing personal notes that's leaked.
Yep.
There's a lot of smoke coming.
Yeah.
There's a lot of smoke coming, and
it could be a smoke machine, but
it keeps piling up.
Yeah. I don't know. Jesus. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know if I was ready for all that.
Yes, because and I don't know. I saw that I didn't see anything about the mistreating pregnant employees.
That was in the Yahoo
I saw
thing.
that it was listed in the Yahoo thing, but I didn't see any other details about it.
Oh no, okay. I would sure hope not.
Right, because we don't. Yeah.
I would sure hope not.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. It was just accused.
It was just an accusation. Okay, yes. Yeah. Jesus, let's fucking hope not.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'm sure we could probably dig into it, and you can probably get some unofficial stories.
Yeah, some Reddit leaked.
I'm sure you can. But that could be somebody else's job. I don't really want to look at it.
Wheels is on it.
Wheels, can you get in on this, Wheels? Where are you? Where are you? What else do we got in here? Are we switching to MLB? Did we cover everything we wanted to cover?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you want to go.
NBA. We'll do a quick NBA.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I just want to do a quick NBA tonight's the play-in games. The Atlanta Hawks beat the Heat.
Yep.
And currently the Timberwolves, who that's really what we want to talk about.
Yep.
Playing the Lakers. But.
And guess what? We're not going to talk about LeBron.
Yeah, I got no reason to talk about LeBron now. Like,
that
whatever.
fucking stinks. It's fine.
Yeah,
He's
he's
fine.
fine. Whatever. He's trash.
Good.
Wow. Where do you want to start with the Timberwolves? Do we
Can we
want to
start with
just
the troll job? I want to start with the troll job.
All right, so let's start. So okay, let's rewind. Let's rewind. Timberwolves have suspended Rudy Gobert.
With good reason.
For those who don't know, punched Jaden McDaniels, who I believe they traded from the Hornets. That was like their big trade deadline. Gave up like 5 second-round draft picks or something for him.
I mean, that was not like nobody's business.
Or I'm sorry. That wasn't the Hornets guy. But it doesn't matter. He was the first round pick.
Okay.
Former first round pick, Jaden McDaniels. Doesn't matter.
I don't care if it was somebody that doesn't play.
Oh no, wait, hang on. I'm all thrown off. Jaden, yeah, I'm all thrown off. Kyle Anderson is the guy that.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know. Jaden McDaniels is also not playing. Kyle Anderson gets punched. They have an altercation.
Yep.
Whatever. I don't want to go into it because sometimes you're playing. You're not. The season has not gone how the Timberwolves have wanted to go because considering how they played last year, trade for Rudy Gobert, punches his teammate. Let's get to the troll job first before we recap everything with the Timberwolves. I'll let you take it from here.
Okay.
Because this involves your boy Draymond Green.
I don't even know my boy. That's a bold statement. But I'm not exactly.
This kind of comes full season circle, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure what the tweet says. I forgot at this point what it was. I'm sure you have it pulled up.
I'll pull it up in 3 seconds.
Okay.
Here.
So when Draymond gave Jordan Poole the Kylian Mbappe.
The old Mbappe, though, the one-piece combo, if you will.
Rudy Gobert, of course, had to go on to Twitter, and he said something along the lines of. We're still pulling it up. Okay,
pulling it up. Oh, hang on, my ad popper.
Oh, yeah.
Insecurity is always loud.
Yep. So that's what Rudy Gobert says after Draymond Green puts Jordan Poole to bed. Puts him right in.
He's in the shadow realm for those who. I think he's just back to. I think he just woke up actually.
Yeah, I think it was like a soap opera episode. He was on the life support and everything. He just woke up, just came back.
That's fine.
And so of course, when Rudy Gobert gets called out for not blocking, apparently is what Kyle wanted. So Gobert said get rebounds, and then Gobert decided to give him the one piece.
Give him the one piece.
It didn't send him to the shadow realm like Draymond. No. I mean, Draymond hit him. He gets him, and what does Draymond put on Twitter?
It's so good. Insecurity is always loud.
And I know Draymond put like 3 or 4 dots.
He put some periods after,
which
just
was
to make sure.
Yep, which was incredible.
Yep.
And I mean, just hey, don't punch teammate.
Per sources,
Don't punch teammate.
Per sources, ESPN sources, the organization was unhappy with Anderson's part, who started the verbal squabble. Apparently kept calling him a bitch. Kept calling Rudy Gobert a bitch.
Could you imagine how many times people in our friend group would have been punched for calling each other a dumb bitch?
We all have CTE at this point.
Wow.
So, wow.
You're going to take that to heart. That's a tough one. I'm sorry.
I
understand you want to be competitive and all this stuff, but it's not like he said he was going to go home and do something to your family. Like, I don't know. Something really sick that you... anything you could think of.
You're making millions of dollars. In the case of Rudy Gobert, you're making a lot of money. Yeah. If someone on your team calls you a bitch...
You don't fucking go by.
Hey, block the ball, bitch. You're going to punch him in the... You're going to lose your guard. Punch this guy in the face. So, I think...
I would be like, check the bank account. Like,
when this happened,
like anything.
like when we talked about this last year. It's been a while since we talked about this, but the Rudy Gobert trade, we reference it a lot because he got 4 first-round picks, a bunch of role players that were actually really good players. I'm not gonna read everything off. But basically, the Timberwolves are on a rise. They had a hell of a run last year. They were a super young team. Everybody all of a sudden was like, oh man, Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns, they really got something going on here. Then Minnesota decides to
sell the farm.
Take TNT, throw it up in the air, start throwing first-round picks at it, and you get Rudy Gobert. So then you're like, okay,
the league is trying to get smaller, play more athletic, play more three-point shooting style of basketball, and instead the Timberwolves say, let's go get 2 guys who are 12 feet tall, 1 guy who is only good within 8 feet of the basket.
I can't remember. Can you refresh my memory? Did we just talk about this for football? Where I'm like, we have the blueprint for championship teams.
Oh man, let me check the ball here.
Check the crystal ball. Shake it up. Magic 8 ball. Shake it up. Magic 8 ball. Shake it up. Shake it up.
Oh, the answer is yes.
Yes. So you're basically saying, hey, you know what? This worked in the 1980s.
Yeah.
1990s.
When Akeem
Let's
Olajuwon
run it back
basketball.
30 years.
Yep.
Oh my God, it didn't work. How could this happen? How could this happen?
Yeah.
Can you make sense of it? Because
nope. I wish I could.
And then that's
wish I could.
And then we talked about and I was like, I'm actually so frustrated right now. Is it the worst trade in NBA history?
If you said it was, I don't know if I'd argue with you.
I'm just gonna do a quick Yahoo. All right, we have Clutch Points NBA worst top 10 worst trades of all time. Let's just see.
Okay.
I mean, God, I mean.
Ben Simmons. Anytime Ben Simmons moves, it has to be down there.
I mean, they have Bill Russell, they sell him, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whatever. I'm trying to think is this worse than when the Brooklyn Nets traded for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce?
Yeah.
It ended up being Dame Lillard. There's a lot of them. I mean, this is up there. This is fucking up there.
I don't want to talk about the Nets trade.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, God, even. I don't know, Oklahoma sends James Harden, Cole Aldridge, Daquan Cook for Laser Haywood, he was included for Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb, and 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But they did not want to pay him money.
Yeah. That's
so
all that was.
They just couldn't afford it. They were a small market team. I mean, this is one of the worst trades in fucking history. And then he punches his teammate getting into the playoffs. I just don't understand. I don't get it.
And then they traded Mitch too.
Yeah. But you know what the Jazz did? Okay.
Yeah, the Jazz actually did good with there. But as soon as you got rid of Gobert, I would have said everybody on the starting roster, come and take them.
Because I mean,
give me 43 first-round picks.
Because the Jazz ended up 37. They had 37 wins this year. I think. Let me look it up. Yeah, they had 37 wins. Oklahoma City came in at number 10. Oh, I want to talk about somebody in Oklahoma City in a second.
Okay.
But the Jazz missed the playoffs by 3 games in a rebuild year, where now they have a ton of talent, a ton of draft picks.
I'd say pretty good.
Minnesota took a step backwards because they're Minnesota, I guess, because you just can't have nice things, I suppose. It's just, I don't know.
It's a lot for me.
You know what? I'm done talking about the Timberwolves. But it just it's just frustrating because.
Yep.
If you're the Minnesota Twins and you have Anthony Edwards and Timberwolves, you have Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns. Why are you blowing it up for Rudy Gobert? Why? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now.
Nope.
I think he actually got more than Kevin Durant got at the trade deadline. Pretty close. Right? I mean, that's what we're. If Kevin Durant just set the NBA record, he's the only guy who shot over 55%, 40 from 3.
Yeah, playing in 14 games. I mean.
No, I know. I'm just saying, but there's really apples to oranges comparing Rudy Gobert and Kevin Durant, and they got basically equal value in a trade.
Yep.
Minnesota, what are you doing?
Yep.
How? Whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm done. I'm over it. Right now, they are beating the Lakers in the play-in game, and I'm actually intrigued to see. I'm intrigued to see how this goes because
please.
Lakers.
Send LeBron home, will you? Mind you, what were they? Third likeliest odds to win the fucking title.
Lakers, yeah. There was something. It was. I could probably
top
pull it
five.
up.
It was top five at least. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. I'll pull up the track.
You pull up FanDuel. Pull it up. But if I'm Minnesota, I'm like, Rudy, listen, pal. You're riding the pine for the rest of the playoffs. I have no use for you.
Yeah.
Trade him in the off. Get whatever you can get. Wipe your hands.
There's no way they do that.
If Anderson's also the problem, get rid of him. You can't piss off Anthony.
But there's not a single shot in hell that they managed to do that.
Because who's gonna want him?
Yeah. And they're gonna try to get some sort of value that they did the first time around, which will just not happen. And that's exactly how it'll go.
Yeah. Whatever. That's fine. That's fine, I guess.
Let's see here.
Do you have the odds?
Yeah, Lakers were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
this is a big game.
Seventh best odds at plus 2,200
East and West.
To win the finals.
If they lose tonight, then they're gonna have to play the winner of OKC Pelicans, just to get into the playoffs.
Yep.
To most likely play the Memphis Grizzlies.
Have fun.
Yikes.
Have fun.
Yikes. Well, actually no, because they would get bumped to 7. They go to 8, and then you gotta play Denver. Good luck. Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
So let me move on. I wanted to talk. Well, I guess we could talk about
OKC is what you said.
real quick. But I also too. What's up with Zion Williams? Says that he won't play till he feels like Zion again. Says he physically feels fine. Is he another wasted case? Maybe.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe.
If he hasn't been already, the guy's played what? 13 games in his entire NBA career.
Not a whole lot. He basically 6 hours ago says, "Feel fine physically. Will return when I feel like Zion." Okay, cool, man.
All right, Ben Simmons, sounds good, buddy.
Cool.
Have a nice career.
But that, that actually kind of makes me sad because he was so exciting and he was just such a new dynamic to the league.
Yep.
And then he just can't stay healthy. Who knows why? I don't know.
Yeah. Now he sees that Ben Simmons got a max contract for sitting the bench going.
Yeah.
And whatever.
And I want to talk about SGA. This is what I really want to talk about.
Can we talk about something happy?
SGA from Oklahoma City. If you're not paying attention, pay attention to this guy. Please. I don't ask for much. I probably do, actually.
No, Tom Sawyer. I think
that's fine. Painting fences are fun. But, okay. 31.4 points a game. The kid's 24 years old.
Yeah.
They are the youngest team in the league.
Yeah.
And they had a 1-year rebuild. 1-year rebuild, and they're back into a playoff game.
You didn't even talk about maybe the most impressive part about him. He's also like maybe first or second team All NBA defense.
Oh yes, and his true shooting percentage is over 60, which is absurd.
Yeah, the kid is. Put some fucking respect
on this guy's name. Please.
He is. He's not human.
And it's he shot 51% from the field. Thunder looked pretty good. I don't know about Chet Holmgren. I didn't really like him coming out of college.
No, he was Gumby.
And I just yelled at him. I hate to say you look at somebody and you're like, man, that guy looks soft.
Are you saying SAWFT soft?
Yeah, where's Enzo Amore, right, in Big Cast? That guy looked soft to begin with. And then you drafted him because he was tall and from Gonzaga or whatever, it doesn't matter. But regardless, I just want to throw it out there.
Don't matter tonight. I just realized.
No, I've had a week in sports looking through it. But yeah, I just want to throw it out there because I thought that was really cool and a future, if not already star in this league.
Yep.
On a mega young team.
Yes.
That might be an they are a young. I mean, they play 20-year-old, 19-year-old, 24-year-old. I think I don't know if
he might be the oldest starter. Yeah, he might be the
at
oldest starter.
24. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not looking at it, but off the top of my head, I think he is the youngest starter on that team.
That's wild to me. Absolutely wild.
They're oldest. I'm sorry, oldest.
Oh yeah, because they have a young team.
Yeah.
We'll see how they do tomorrow night against the Pelicans, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I expect them to do some good things there.
We can switch. We're talking about baseball now, right?
Yeah.
That's all we got left.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing.
No.
Tampa Bay Rays 11-0.
Hey, they're kind of good.
They're kind of good. What a start! I think they are the. I think there's only 2 other teams. Like it was 13-0 is the record, I believe, or 15-0. No, best start. 13-0.
Yeah, I was just saying. I thought it was 13.
They are now currently at 11-0.
Mm-hmm.
They are getting pitching. They are destroying the ball. I think the only team that has hit more home runs in the first 10, 11 games than they have is way back when to 2000 when Jim Edmonds and Mark McGuire was off to their start. And
Hey, they were pretty good.
They were pretty good. They had some enhancement to hit that many home runs.
Yeah, but the ball still owed them money, right?
I think the ball did owe them money, but you kind of look at Tampa Bay's team, kind of a good team.
There's a lot of people that I saw today that are panicking about that team because they don't have any faith in that starting rotation. When you have Shane McClanahan, who
pitched tonight,
one of the best pitchers in baseball, and you have Drew Rasmussen, who, again, if people are saying if you're saying that's his number 2 in that rotation, very good. I think on most teams.
And he's pitched 13 scoreless innings so far.
Yeah, I think on most teams he could be a number 1.
No, they're not going. And also
3, 4, 5 might be kind of suspect, sure. But when your 2-headed monster is what it is, and they're both like 26 or whatever, like they're both super young.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously that team's not going to be able to beat up baseballs like they have been the entire season.
Right. Because they also started Jalen Beeks for one start. He went 5. I think he went 5 innings, 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was 4 innings, 1 run, something like that. Same thing. They had Zach Eflin start 2 games.
He got hurt, unfortunately.
He got hurt, but I mean, he pitched 11 innings.
But if Zach Eflin's your 3rd starter, and you've got that bullpen that you have,
yeah,
the bullpen is unbelievable.
And I think something too. And I'm gonna look through Tampa Bay real quick. They have 1 save. And
that sounds about right.
But I mean, they are, and that was against Boston when they won 1-0. Or no, I'm sorry, that was a walk-off. But they have 1 save, which means they are blowing teams out. Yeah. It's not like they're barely winning and it's like, oh man, they're 1-run games. They are blowing teams out. I
think they figured out the cheat code.
The cheat code, right?
You tell Randy Arozarena, this is the most important game of his entire life.
He's like, oh, okay, yeah.
And he goes, oh, all right. And then he's going to bat 500 for the year.
What's he? Oh, he's batting 326. He is on a tear to start the season.
Yeah, and he's going to hit 84 home runs. Yeah. He's going to drive in 312 people. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, but you look at their team. 4-0, 12-2, 5-1, 6-2, 10-6. 7-2, 9-5, 11-0, 11-0, 1-0, 7-2. That's 1 closed game. They are blowing teams out. So, granted, they're not going 162-0.
No,
I get that. But for people that are skeptical about them, they are getting on base. They are scoring runs. Which
they don't even do a lot of long balls.
Which we remember you and I did a little thing before the season. We talked a bunch of people. If you get on base, it doesn't matter what your batting average is. You get on base, you will score runs.
Mm-hmm. That's just how it goes.
And their pitching is solid. Their pitching's always been solid.
Yes.
The past few years. So I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know what else you want to talk about. Baseball. Mountcastle had 9 RBI tonight. Is that what he had?
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's my first baseman.
That's pretty good. Your first baseman. Brian Reynolds.
Absolutely rain terror all over Adam. I still lost 7-4. It's fine.
Yeah. Kyle Tucker off to a magnificent start. A lot of guys off to great starts.
Yep.
I mean,
the Mets and if you put on a Mets uniform, you're probably out for 8 to 10 weeks.
You're probably hurt. Yeah, you're probably hurt.
Omar Narvaez, I'm pretty sure I talked about it.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's playing well. Toronto, Yankees. Baltimore's hanging around.
Yeah.
Baltimore's hanging around. Twins, who I don't know if you and I both agree, but we both said Twins are a team to look out for this year to get into the playoffs. Because we look at teams that didn't make it, that could make it this year.
I don't expect them to keep doing what they're doing on offense.
Right.
Which then scares me because their pitching staff is somewhat suspect.
Could be. But
I
think when we did the podcast for this, I think we kind of looked at 2 teams. We looked at the Brewers and we looked at the Guardians. Or I'm sorry, who the hell were you just talking about?
The Brewers.
Twins.
Twins
Brewers.
Yes.
It's 2 teams that could make it. But
as teams that didn't make it last year.
Right, they could slide in. We're off to good starts.
Yeah.
Long season. They still got 150 more games, which is probably an understatement for how long the season's going to be. But
which is why I love baseball.
So, perfect. Look, we're out of time. Look at that. It's like we know what we're doing or something.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Till next time, Adam Stone.
And Jasper Knight.
Bid you adieu.
And goodbye.
Goodbye. Get fucked.